Okay, maybe I can take the for security reasons. Please don't make me laugh. Oh, Chinwe Mary. All right, don't worry, yeah, safe. Your data, your information is safe with us, so you can share where you are joining from. You don't need to share your street address, just location. Like, okay, you see, she already shared it. Thank you very much. Folake Caroline from Lagos, Nigeria. Good to have you here. Chinwe Mary Ann from Enugu. Happy to have you here. Lua Sheun from Lagos. Good to have you. To Mary again from Enugu. Beautiful. Good to have you. Azizat from Lagos, Nigeria. Good to have you. Good to have you. Good to have you. I would also love to Iremide for Ukraine. Oh, we're so close. Good to have you, Iremide. Iremide, you're always coming in from Ukraine. You might land in Ukraine, though. Let me not see. You might just end up in Ukraine. Iremide. All right, awesome. Good to have everyone on the call. And this is also an indication that we can all hear me. There are going to be little background noises here and there because of my location. Kindly bear with me, but I'll be as audible as I can so that at every point my voice is always louder than the background voices. So thank you very much for letting us in on where you are joining from. I also want us to do another exercise. Let us know your journey at the moment as a data analyst. Are you a beginner? Are you an enthusiast waiting to learn? Are you an expert? Are you a professional? Let us also know in the comment section. This will help us, tailor our questions better so that we will not be asking questions that are not relevant to the people we have on the call. This is first comer privilege because there are people that will join in later, but we're going to tailor our questions based on the people we have right now. And this is to enable us give value. So junior data analyst, beautiful. Okay, a beginner. Okay, awesome. Please keep it coming. If you're an expert, you can also add it there. This name looks very familiar though. Oluwasewojo. I don't know if we've met before, but your name sounds quite familiar. Iremide, Iremide, God is watching you. God is watching you. Wale is a beginner. Okay, beautiful. Let's keep it coming. Let me know. I want to understand my audience. Let me know those that I have here with me on this session. Okay, if that is all, then that is fine. So we have more of beginners. As that is also a beginner. Beautiful. We have more beginners. Beautiful. Then this session is absolutely for you. Intermediate level. Somewhere from Lagos, intermediate level. Okay. Kai Nasir. I hope I got your name correctly. Yeah, also a beginner. Awesome. This is very, very good. This session is for you. And before we start, I just want to establish that even if you're an expert, trust me, you will also learn from this because this topic is something that borders on analysts, having to ask the right questions, because most time when we are added on a project, depending on your working conditions, sometimes you're added on a project, other times you are solely responsible as a data analyst team. Nobody needs to come and call you to say, hey, Samuel, we need to quickly work on this project. Wale, what's up? We need you to jump on this project. Depending on the conditions, sometimes you might be required to work on just a specific task. Other times you are solely responsible for everything that has to do with analyzing the company data. So whatever level you are in your data analysis journey, this session is absolutely going to help you because it's the question that you ask that will define the kind of data you collect and how you organize them. Please give me a minute. Let me fix my charger. I don't know what's happening. Just give me a minute. Okay. Awesome. Perfect. Okay. Thank you for your patience. Okay. As I was saying, Understanding these things, asking the right question is what will give you a direction on knowing, okay, what data do I even collect and what analysis am I working at. So I'll use a house, for example. If you want to build a house, and then let's say you're an architect and someone comes and say, hey, Nasir, I have a land at Lagos or Enugu. I want a building. Help me build a house. That is a very, very, very vague description. You want a house. I should help you build a house, but there are different kind of buildings that we can erect there. What kind of house are you looking at? Is it commercial? Is it personal? Do you have a big family? Do you want a private space? Do you want it to be luxurious? You know, those are questions. What's the security infrastructure? How secure do you want this place to be? Those are questions that you should ask, or that you can possibly ask before you go ahead and start inviting people to dig foundation. Because without that, what foundation are you even digging? Because you don't even know the expectation of the landowner. I'm going to use another example, and in this in this example, I want everyone to, respond in the comment section. I want to be sure that we are all following me. So let's say you are a caterer, a global caterer. What do they call them? Chef, yes, world-known chef. And then data highlights community comes to you, data analytics highlight community comes to you and say, hey, we're having an end of year party. We want you to cook food for us. Ire just calls you and says, we want you to cook food for our community. What do? Do you just go to the market, start shopping for ingredients and cook food for us? Or do you ask questions? Let me know in the comment section. As a renowned chef, we come to you and say, beautiful, you ask questions, awesome. So to bring it home closer, what sort of questions are you going to be asking? In this case now, aha, very good. How many people are we expecting? Awesome. That is a very, very, very important question. You don't want to underfeed the people that will come, or overfeed. Like, you don't want to bring inadequate or insufficient food, especially us Nigerians. Don't play with our stomach. Yeah, I need more of it. What other questions can we possibly ask to be sure that we provide the right food for the end of year party? There are a lot of questions we can ask. A lot. Only jollof rice or fried rice? Awesome. That is another very good question, because there are different categories of rice. What rice do you want? Fried, jollof, coconut, which other one again? Banga rice, chicken, fried rice, curry rice, whatever it is. Beautiful. If there are people with allergies, it's very, very important, so that we know what to watch out for, and what category of people, more like age band. Beautiful. You don't want to add too much spice for someone that is above 80 or that is above 70. Please mute your mic, Mobolaji. Thank you. Then ask for budget. Aziza, thank you so much. I mean, I love that everyone is really, really into this. This is encouraging. Ask for budget. You're a renowned chef, so that you not be thinking 1 million, 10 million per person, and then we're thinking 500K per person. So you need to understand the budget, the category of people. Yes, chicken, lamb, or biryani. Yeah, those are different kind of rice. Beautiful. Date and time, awesome, very, very good. You need to also be aware of the time. So these are very, very important things. Thank you so much for all your contribution. This is why it is important to ask the right questions. I'm sure with this analysis, we can all understand the importance of asking the right questions as data analysts. Blank or non-sale? Abdul Hassan, you have lost us. So yeah, I don't understand that blank or non-sale. Please come back home, come down to our level. Okay, so yeah, you need to ask this question, and we have single-handedly selected two very important guests to help us on this. I'm trying to check if Gift is on the call. He mentioned that he was changing his location, so he might join us some minutes later. But Adetoro Adedeji is right here with us. If you know how long I've been pursuing Adetoro to come and do this, you will carry paper and biro and start writing, right? Because I can tell you for sure that we're going to be learning from both of them. Gift is an amazing, amazing data analyst that's been doing this for years. He has even gone ahead to build a lot of applications and whatnot. And the same thing applies for Adetoro as well. Adetoro has also laid a significant impact. If I'm not sure, I won't be able to share, but maybe they can share before the session is over. I would have loved to share their LinkedIn profile so you can connect with them after this session. But due to so, let me see if I can share it. I will definitely share before the session is over. But I have some constraints accessing LinkedIn at the moment. Yeah, so they will be our guest today, helping us to understand this. Okay, beautiful. Then they can share their Twitter handle as well. Beautiful. Yeah, they'll be helping us understand this topic in depth as it's going on. You know, we can only do so much. We've itemized some questions that we've seen people ask often over time, but we can't ask all the questions. So that's why it's important for you to pay attention. You understand what is unique to you in your own journey. Like I always say, every individual has their unique journey, right? What is pressing for me might not be pressing for you. So also do it to note down your own questions. So when it's time, we'll take your questions and then we'll take as much as we can given the time that is available. And for those of us that don't know already, data analytics and community, we're committed to seeing you succeed as a data analyst. And we have different courses that you can learn from to prepare you on how to use Excel, SQL, Python, Power BI. Yeah, so if you want more details on that, you can definitely chat us up after this session. So I'll be bringing up on stage Adetoro Adedeji, one of our super guests for this afternoon. Mic check, Adetoro.
Mic check. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Hi,
hello.
Nice to meet you. I'm happy
Good
to be
have
here.
you. Same here. We're happy to be here.
I can see Gift on the call.
Coincidentally, our second guest also just joined, so it's a good time to join in. Gift. Mind check. Let's hear your voice, Gift, before we jump right into the panel session.
Hi.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, Adetoro.
Yeah, so good to have you here.
Apologies for coming in late.
It's understandable. I already explained to the community so that they will not hang you up for coming a little behind schedule. Okay, so awesome. We're going to move right into the question and answer session now. And like I said, please do not hesitate to ask your questions. You can write them down so you don't forget it. You can put it in the comment section as well, but we're going to take them much later. Okay, so let's go with the first one. This is going to go to you, Gift. How crucial, we did some analysis before you joined, but I want you to throw more highlight on this. How crucial is asking the right question in the realm of data analysis? How crucial is it to ask the right questions?
Okay, permit me. Can I put on my camera? Let me put
of course, you should put on your camera. Yes, let everyone see your fine face. I can see your smile.
Okay, hello guys, everyone. Okay, so when we talk about how crucial it is to ask the right question, for me, is is vital. I think asking the right question when it comes to data analysis is practically everything. You know, just imagine you're going on a treasure hunt. Okay, you're given a map, and at the end of the day, you actually need to discover where treasures are hidden. You need to actually ask some questions. So that's how data analysis is. Asking the right question when it comes to data analysis, for me, is actually a soft skill that is so important. In fact, kind of much more important than even your technical skills. because just imagining and analyzing what is wrong because you ask the wrong question. So at the end of the day, your skills, your Python, your SQL, whatever technical skill you have becomes useless. So asking the right question actually help you to be on track. Okay, so that you achieve the results. Remember, when you do analysis, basically it's for you to be able to uncover insights. Okay, and you need questions. So questions are actually like a roadmap. Asking the right questions like a roadmap to achieving the results.
Thank you so much for that insight. So you've heard it. Asking the right question is like a roadmap. I mean, you can't go to a place without understanding the navigation on how to get there. Adetoro, this one is going to come to you. Can you give us an example from your personal experience or the experience of your team members or someone that you know that where asking the wrong question led to a misleading analysis?
All right. Thank you very much, Ejiro, for the question. We're asking wrong question. So in my experience, to be a bit biased to say that there's a wrong question in data analysis actually. So I would rather say maybe not asking a question that is directed towards the goal. Maybe not the wrong question, right? So I mean, you are you're invited to work on a project and you have different stakeholders from different spheres of life, because I mean you may not always have the opportunity to work with just analysts. I mean there will be senior management, there will be marketing directors, there will even be new joiners in the company that probably are just even interning somewhere, but at that point in time they are the one that need your help, right? So the concept of asking the right question, like Gift said, is like, I mean, you can't take a step forward in your career or on a project. Let me bring this down to a more granular level. You can't take a step forward in the right direction to success without that soft skill of being able to express your thoughts in questions. Okay. Maybe this will bring me to the point of mentioning learning how to iteratively deliver your work. So by this I mean you are invited to a project or you have a project, you have met with the stakeholder. First thing I do when it comes to a project, at least maybe just to even make the person that's the owner of the project really come to the realization of the end goal is, can you give me a user story? Don't just come here and tell me you want this automated, you want this analyzed. Okay, I hear you. Can you put it into writing and give me a user story? In that user story, I want to understand your business outcome. I want to understand what benefits this project is to the entire company. Okay, well, maybe because of the companies I've worked into, let me take my current company as an example. Hope I'm not talking too much. Hope I'm not talking too much, but I just want to point out that I don't think there's a wrong question. I just think there are some questions that are not awesome enough and maybe don't give stakeholders or the person you're asking the question the avenue to express their thoughts. So maybe when it comes to asking maybe open-ended question, closed-ended question, you need a mix of both, because you need to even after getting a user story and you've read, you still need to schedule a meeting with the person, hear them talk. There might be some hidden things that either you have not properly read from their user story or they've not been able to properly express via writing, that you then need to hear them talk, hear the end goal they have in mind to then be able to understand how the project would even now transpire from there. Let me stop there for now.
I see you get prepared. Awesome. Okay. I love your
I don't know.
I love your point of view. Pardon?
Yeah, so I want to chip in something a little bit in addition to what
Okay.
Adetoro
Okay.
said. I don't know if I can go ahead now to
Yeah, we can
add
take
that.
that briefly. Briefly.
Okay, so I want to put another perspective to what it means when we say asking the right questions. Funny enough, sometimes asking the right questions is beyond even asking stakeholders. Sometimes you need to even ask your data questions because data actually communicates, okay? It speaks. But for you to be able to get your insights, in addition to even your communication with the stakeholders, you need to be able to ask specific questions to your data to be able to unlock the insights that you have. So that's just what I also want to just add to it.
Awesome addition. I like the perspective. There are no wrong or right questions, but
Yeah.
there are misleading questions, and there are questions that are spot on that will lead you to, the for the lack of better word, the promised land that will take you exactly where you are trying to go. So I hope everyone understands the difference, when we say asking the right questions, me asking the questions that are crucial for whatever task it is that is beforehand. Someone cannot come to you and say, I want rice, and you're asking the person, which cement company will you prefer? What's the correlation between cement company and rice? There's really no correlation. So to put context, when we say asking the right questions, this is what we intend for it. So give this question is going to be coming to you. What strategies do you employ to frame questions effectively before delving into your analysis? I mean, start from those questions before you even talk about, collecting and analyzing data and then creating a report from it. So what strategies do you employ to frame questions effectively?
Okay, so thank you. So the strategy sometimes varies, from project to project. There are times that when you have a task, to do, that you might be lucky. A lot of things have been spelled out, by your stakeholders. Sometimes some things might not even be spelled out. Okay, you have stakeholders just basically telling you want to be able to generate insights, from this data. We have a large chunk of data. We believe in data. We believe in the power of analyzing data effectively to move a company forward. So like I said, depending on strategy or on situation. But one of the key thing I do basically when I want to dive into data analysis is basically being able to understand the problem that data is meant to solve. Like I said earlier, insight that you generate from data is basically to solve problems. So if you're able to identify that problem, it helps you. So I try as much as possible to understand the pain points. What are the issues that I want to use the data to solve? Then later I'll go into asking questions like, how do I measure? Um, how do I get to measure um, my strategy? So my strategy here basically is my analysis. So when I run an analysis, what are those key things, items I will look at and say, okay, I'm actually touching the pain points? Because at the end of the day, your analysis is meant to address a pain point, bring out an outcome. So your outcome is like the desired goal, the desired result. So you need to be able to measure the desired result. So if you're not able to measure that desired result, then we can't really say you've actually gotten an insight. So understanding the pain point, then coming up with things you call metrics with KPI that you use in measurement, for me is very, very key, because you must know whether you're on track or you've actually achieved the goal. So those are the basic, simple strategy I use most times
Awesome.
before
I
I
hope.
dive. Yeah.
Thank you. I hope we
I
have
hope I'm
taken.
not too technical. I hope I'm not too
Well,
technical.
not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
I really hope that everyone is taking notes, because these are good insights that will be helpful for you right now and even later in your career stage. So the next question will be going to give sorry, not gifts now. Adetero, although we can't see you, I don't know if it's possible for you to turn on your video so that we can all be graced by your beautiful face. So the next question is for you, Adetero. How do you navigate situations where stakeholders are uncertain about questions they want the data to answer. There are situations where your boss will just come to you and they want an analysis, and they can't even explain why they need it. For some reason, it feels like this work we don't really need to do this. Perhaps an insight or a report has been created to address this already. Either they do not understand that report, or they don't understand those analyses that were previously made, that they are coming to request for something that they themselves they are not even sure of, they are not certain about, but they shall want us to, do an analysis on that. How do you navigate situations like that where our stakeholders are not sure what they want the data to answer? You are beautiful.
Thank you.
Hey, God.
Thank you very
In
much.
fact,
No, I'm shy.
I was about saying she just decided to starve us of her beauty.
Wow.
I agree
Anyway,
with you.
I forgive you.
Thank you very much. Okay. I think first thing that comes to mind there is the importance of building relationship, first of all. So there is a way that, because, let me even say shout out to Gift. I mean, immediately the flyer went out and it came to my DM. I wanted to do that, but my book was very busy, right? It came to my DM, said a few things, we exchanged contacts and all. Just because of that, I'm comfortable enough to explain some things I may not be able to explain maybe to an Akim or Mobolaji that is on the call about a problem I have on a particular matter, right? So some people, even it cuts across all the categories, whether senior management, whether mid managers or anything. Just sometimes, just come and say I shall want this data to be analyzed. Taking my company as a case in point, I mean, we have several data, several. I mean, 1 year in that company is not enough to even uncover all the hidden treasures that we have embedded in the data, right? And then just have someone come and say, I want analysis on something. What do you want? So sometimes another thing I do is provide question templates. It can help such person like think through what, in the process of answering the questions, then, okay, I think I would like this in addition. They'll be the one to call you for the next meeting or schedule physical meetings. I don't go to office every time, but when I know that this particular person I want to work for, you give me a problem if I don't sit with you and understand what you really want. I go to the office, take an extra time, go to the office, sit with them, can start from gist, just to feel their pain points. Nobody employs, nobody wakes up, no employer just wakes up and just employ a data analyst for no reason. Although there might be a cliche feel of so that we can say we have an analyst, but trust me, there is an underlying or silent problem they are not even aware of that you will get to know via conversations, via engaging them. And you cannot get to that point if you don't already find a common ground. Try to strike up conversation. Of course, that point Gift mentioned is very fantastic, understanding the data first of all. But there are some specific projects that will come your way as well that you don't even have access to the data yet. But you just need to find a way to navigate through the person's mind. Who you want to satisfy is the customer. So allow them talk, ask them questions, and guide them as well using templates. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So there's something I picked from what you said. It's very important for us to build a relationship with our stakeholders, right? Because how best do you understand those pain points? From listening to some of them talk, you can already imagine, okay, this is a possible challenge. This is something that we could solve. And that's something that Erimide does very, very well. Let me add that because I've worked with her before. And of course, we're friends outside data analytics airline. So we just a lot. She's proactive. There are times where even the employer does not know that there's a problem there, and he will spot that, do the work first, and then take the result to our boss like, okay, this is it, this is a problem, this is a problem, this is a problem, these are possible solutions. So that is something that we can all, take to heart, because some of these guys, it is not their forte. Don't be shy. It is not their forte. So sometimes don't blame them that they don't know. They actually and honestly do not know. But as an analyst, you can get insight, because when you see data They just see numbers, but you see something else. You see something different, so it's easy for you to spot the difference. But in the case where you are working with someone that is just being difficult, you can find a way to manage it, still give them your best, because there are some people that just want to stress people out. In all honesty, right? This is Nigeria, so we have to address every possible concern. If you are in that category where your boss just wants you to draw reports, draw dashboards for drawing sake, don't worry, keep drawing. You are building your portfolio. For every report and every dashboard you draw, you have a story to tell, like, oh, I analyzed this, I did that, I did this. So always look for the good side of every situation. Thank you for that, Adetoro. The next question is going to Gift. We'd love you to elaborate on the difference between open-ended questions and close-ended questions, and if possible, if you can give us insights on when to apply which. When do we ask open-ended questions? When do we ask close-ended questions, and the difference between both?
Okay, sorry, I was a little bit muted a while. So very interesting question, and that to ask. You know, even someone like me, I'm still trying as much as possible to also maximize the importance of these two, because at several points in your analytic journey, you actually need to know when to blend them and know when to use what. But what I will just explain in simple English terms is that when you talk about a closed ended question, basically is a kind of question that you throw to someone, or a kind of question that you ask with specific direction. You're kind of pushing your answer towards a particular angle. One of those common questions we have are questions that has to do with options, where you bound your answer to options. Your options could be multiple. It sometimes could be either yes or no question. When you ask someone like, do you sleep at night? Let me say it's part of your questionnaire when you're trying to do data gathering during your research. You just ask question like, do you sleep at night? Yes or no? That person will be forced to choose, especially when you make such kind of question compulsory. The person will be forced to choose. Now, that is an example of a closed, title. Put someone in a corner, or put yourself in a corner, while you are communicating with your data. But when you talk about open-ended questions, it's a kind of question that gives room for expression, gives room for a lot of opportunities. Now, both of them are good, both of them have their place. Now, bringing it down to data analysis, when we talk about the advantages, most times, if we look at a closed ended question, they help us basically to sometimes get what we refer to as quantitative values. So, like that kind of analysis I just gave us now, at the end of the day, I can do a count. How many people actually sleep at night? How many people sleep daytime? Those kind of analysis is good, but not enough. Remember, the key thing of your analysis, always understand, is to generate insight that is helpful. But when you go a step further to ask, um, tell us, give us an idea of when you sleep. Tell me when you sleep. Now, definitely you're going to get varying answers, to that same question. Some will tell you night, some will tell you they sleep, some start giving you timing, others will say morning, afternoon, night. Some will just give you specific time, and it's something you've created because an open-ended, so you give variety. So sometimes it's very beautiful. The reason why it's beautiful is it helps you if you know how to analyze qualitative uh, data. It helps you to be able to generate much more insight. So let me give you a practical one that is very common among organizations that have products. So there's what we call CSAT. CSAT has to do with customer satisfactory score. That's a kind of metric used to measure how satisfied customers are with your product. Your product can be an app or whatever it is. Now, usually that survey, a lot of people, just to make it simple, we just put two questions. The first question, most time they say rate us between the scale of 1 to 10 or scale 1 to 5. The other one, which is very important, which sometimes some organizations don't even want to put, because I've seen that scenario where a lot of people just put closed, yes or no. But when you put that kind of information like, okay, what don't you like about our future or our app? Third question, you probably put an open-ended questions like, tell us how we can serve you better. Definitely you have various, in fact, by the time you start doing your distinct, let me say that information is connected to a database, you start running your distinct values, you may probably get multiples of information. But is that important? Yes. If you are able to do sometimes what we refer to as sentiment analysis, you can be able to have an idea of the feeling, based on how they express themselves in contextual formats. Someone just tell you some words, whether that person feels good or not. So in addition to even helping you to be able to understand how they rate your product, you're also able to understand their emotions, with regards to your product. So combining the two is something that is very good. So each of them has the advantage and disadvantage. The major disadvantage sometimes when you ask an open-ended question is that you need to be quite skilled enough to manage the crazy kind of data points that you end up getting. I don't know if I've been able to simplify this.
Yeah, for me, I hope every other person is getting this too. Personally, I hate open-ended questions because of that
A
reason,
lot of
because
people,
I'm
yeah.
not able to analyze it. I just like something that is straightforward, and like you said, it's bad because I'm forcing my people, to go one direction. Because actually there are cases where
Kind of
that,
bias.
yeah,
Sometimes
it's
it's create
bias.
bias. Yeah.
Yes. From your explanation now, it makes sense. There are cases where allowing people to express themselves will be most helpful for you than trying to. But like I said, just me doing lazy man analysis. So everyone here, I hope you will not be like me. And you will know when to apply which one of them. Okay, we'll move on to the next question. Now, please don't forget to write down your questions. You can drop them in the comment section. I will take it when it's time. You can write it down, and then when it's time for us to take general questions, we can also request for you to drop them. We want to answer every of your question as much as time will permit. So the next question will be going to Adeto. How do you ensure alignment between the questions asked and the data collected? Bearing in mind that there are some times where people will come to you with already existing data, like they've already collected data and then they are coming to, and you still need to ask those questions. So how do you ensure this alignment? You're muted.
All right. Okay, thank you for the question. So I was going to actually ask that in this case, do you mean is the analyst that is gathering the data, or the data already exists somewhere?
Maybe yes, maybe not. In some case, analysts can define the kind of data that they want to be gathered, while in some other cases they may not really have that leverage to do that. So in a case where they have a say in the data that is being gathered, you can talk to the data collection team, whoever is going to give you all of those information that you need.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. In a case when they have a say, so the first thing an analyst will even need to do is to understand the objective. I mean, you don't collect the data that does not have an end goal, because having an understanding of the objective first even helps you know the type of data points to collect. It tells you also, communicates with whether the developer, depending on how the data is being collected, is it by survey, is it from an application where you then need a developer, they're like a middleman, a developer somewhere that you are in communication with to even know the right type of data format because you don't want to get a data that will then start giving you a headache as well. I mean, you can minimize all of those if it is already saved in the right format, right? So ensuring that there is an alignment between the questions you need to ask and then can you say the other part again? I know there's an alignment bit of it. Israel.
Yes, I'm here. Alignment between the questions that you ask and the data that is being collected. Because do you get now? Should I still elaborate more?
You can elaborate more.
Okay, so there are cases where your stakeholder might come to you and they say, oh, we want to do this, we want to understand our market trend in the last 3 months in this new region, right? In that case, you know that you need some data, you need tangible data on the new market and on the existing market, because that's the basis of comparison, how this existing market is doing and how the new market is doing. You need all of those data. So how do you ensure that there's an alignment with these questions that you're asking and the data itself?
So in this case, when there's already an you have a say, of course, with data that is collected, you already know the type of data, so it's easier. I mean, it's easier to already align your questions, with the already available data or the data in process of collection. Because I mean, some data, you get to collect some data over a period of time, 3 months, and then already you must have even started analyzing. I mean, you work iteratively. Yes, you work iteratively.
Okay. I think we lost our data row. Oh, I was going to enjoy that too. I had work actively. Okay, we'll keep that hanging. When she comes in, I would really love to hear her insight. But Gift, if you don't mind answering that question for us, we'll appreciate that. If you don't mind.
Okay, so if I understand the question you asked clearly, it talked about what do one do in a situation where the question you're asking and the data that is provided is not kind of aligning. Am I correct? Okay, so I can hear you. Is that correct? Can you nod?
Yeah, I was nodding.
Okay. I needed to be sure that the nod was for me. Okay, so the truth is that I don't know how many of us here are actually very experienced in this field of data analysis. But if you've not spent a lot of years in it, let me just tell you one simple truth. This is our reality. A lot of times we face this kind of scenario where the questions you want to answer with data and even the data provided are not really aligning. So you must be open. So sometimes your data, there might be limitation. So that's where openness, that's where communication comes into play. Being able to understand that and being able to communicate, effectively is very important. Okay, because let me give you an example. Um, we have data sets. Let me talk about the electricity sector. So my boss just comes up and say he wants me to be able to do a prediction of how our tariff rates will be changing, or what the tariff rates will be for a particular band, let's say 2030. Now the only data that was given to me was just, let's say, basically data that talks about customers energy consumption. Do you understand? Now, clearly, when you look at that data, you realize that that data is totally different from the question that you wish to answer with your data. So you must be open. So there are two different ways. First thing you can do is try to be creative in your thinking. Ask yourself questions like, what other data do I actually need, or supplement data do I actually need to achieve this? Because remember, you are the data guy, and data people are always being looked upon like superhumans. You are too creative, and sometimes not really like that, because you're also human. You also have your limitations. So before you even meet your boss or whoever gives you that task, try to be creative about your about that data. What other data source can I get, can I leverage on to be able to help me solve this information? Now, you may realize that you actually need to have an historical data of the change in tariff rates. Try to ask questions, speak with stakeholders who has this data. Do you understand? So it's very important at every point in time, when you are trying to answer questions around your data or around solving problems, you also align it with the data available. So, but the fact that you don't have that data yet does not mean you cannot do it. So, because asking that question correctly can make you realize that you need additional data and you'll be able to speak with stakeholders involved in that field. Probably meet the energy audit guys that probably have been keeping this data, and sometimes you may even get that data at the point of working, trying to find correlation. You may realize that it's not working. So some time ago, while I was working in Ikeja Electric, I wanted to help the unit I was working with to understand how we can predict the rates and also help the business to prepare, for the way customers, respond to us in terms of payments of bills when there's an increase or when there's a reduction, and also how customers will also react to us in terms of maybe want to beat us on the way. A lot of people sometimes don't like to work in an electricity sector in Nigeria because they look at you as, say, a police officer just trying to harass them with high tariff bill. So I got all these data points, energy, blah, blah. But with my questions, I was able to understand that these are not the only factors that influence tariff rates. You have a lot of things that influence tariff rate. Things like your GDP, export rate of crude oil, because those crude oil prices globally affects generation because everything's up on generation. So sometimes you realize that, oh, you need to also source data, probably from CBN, probably from NMPC. So at the end of the day, you are open with your limitation and you communicate with your land manager, and at the end of the
Mhm.
day you're able to solve problem. Thanks.
Awesome. That the next question I wanted to ask is so related to what you explained earlier on creativity, right? Most analysts just believe in plug and play. They say I should do this, I'll just do this, and then I just do that. I gave an example of Urimide earlier that always go out of the norm. So I would love to ask, what role does creativity play in formulating insightful questions for data analysis?
Okay, so thank you so much. I think probably my using of that word probably forced you to want to ask me. I was thinking you asked Adetoro that question, but since I started the conversation on creativity, so the truth is that as a data analyst, so when I say data analyst, I'm not just saying people that have the role called data analysts. You analyze data. You could be a business analyst. You could be a performance analyst. Whatever analyst. That's why you work with data. One key ingredient or uh, traits that I think everyone that analyzes data should have is the ability to think even without the box. So a lot of times we just talk about think outside the box. Think as if there is no box. So this simply means you have no limitation. You don't have any confinement. There's no box for you to just think around. The space, you have the entire space for you to play with in terms of your thoughts, in terms of your creativity. Creativity is very key because that is where the real insight generation comes. It's insights. I said earlier that data communicates, it speaks, but can only do that when you ask it the right question. So you must be able to ask the data the right question. So your creativity plays a very important role because the way you tweak your questions helps you to be able to see sometimes beyond the surface. Let me give you a quick example. When we talk about, so there's what we call bounce rates, for people that do, what do they call this now? Okay, let me not use bounce rate now. Traffic, social media guys want to check how
Email
many people.
marketing.
yeah, email marketing stuff, website analysis. You want to be able to measure how many people come to your website, visit your website. That's website visitation. Now, it's one thing for you to just ask questions like, um, how many people visit my website? It's a normal thing people do. The total number of people that visit our website is 43, 1,000. But when you talk about creativity, so it's not as if when you go the normal way, you are wrong. So creativity only makes it, it gives it a kind of flavor, you understand? So when you start doing, you're being creative, like instead of asking that kind of question or putting that kind of question, you could say, what time of the day affects the your e-commerce probably website traffic? At what time of the day do you have high visitation? So you're able to understand, you know, that in itself gives you insights. If you're able to monitor that. So if you want to push ads or you want to push new products in form of advertisements, you can be able to lock it at that time. That within this time, you just push that advert because a lot of people will come to your sites. A lot of people can be able to buy things, unlike when you're only interested in answering questions like how many visitations do you have in a day, how many visitations in a year, and stuff like that. So basically, creativity helps you to penetrate deeper than the surface.
Mhm.
Basically,
Okay, thank you very much. Aditya, we're happy to have you back. So I left your question hanging, although I asked Gift to also add some insight, but I would love to also hear your perspective on that, the alignment between questions and data collected. You're muted if you're talking. Can you hear us? Okay. I guess there's a network glitch. I'm not sure. Editor, you can indicate when you can hear me or when you're back online. I can't hear you. Maybe it's network. Okay, I'll move on to the next question now for Gift. Can you share tips on refining questions so that we're able to extract the most valuable insights we can from data available?
okay. So if I understand your question, basically, you want to look at how we can creatively um, refine, redefine, or refine questions that we ask. So it means we have normal questions. So, like I said, the normal questions, it's not as if they are wrong, but a little tweak can create some kind of flavor. So I come in. Let me just quickly give us a simple example. So we have what we call revenue. A lot of all companies actually in for profit, for revenue. So you're a data analyst, you're involved in running financial data, and your major question that you want to answer with your data is just basically things like how much revenue do we generate this quarter? Is a nice question. You can answer it directly, but by the time you refine this to something like, are there specific seasonal trends that actually affect or influence the purchasing behavior of our customers? Let me tweak that question again.
Reach on.
Okay, so normal question. I want to basically look at our revenue. How much revenue did we generate this quarter? Straight, you get the answer. We generated $10 billion. Beautiful. But when you refine it, this is what happens to you. You now refine it to something like you want to understand or if there are any specific, the keywords, specific seasonal trend that affects the purchasing behavior of your customers. Now, let me tell you what this will help you do. This will help you first and foremost, you will understand the revenue on each of those periods. And you can also do your accumulations to actually get that normal quarterly revenue. But deeper than that, you're able to understand a behavior which is very key and can help you in your marketing strategy. You are able to understand that, okay, this period of the year, we do a lot of sales because our customers are usually in this kind of happy mood. They're happy, their children are at home with them, family there, they want to show that they're good fathers, children are back from school, so they want to spend more. You know how to push your marketing strategy. Then some areas where fathers are like, man, the country is kind of crazy. We're in Hamatan season. So you won't be spending too much money sometimes into your marketing strategy because no matter what you do, because the way the economy is, the season of economy, it might have a negative effect. Although, if you now choose to also do your marketing strategy or push out your sales within this period that you fully understand is a season where your sales are usually low, guess what you would do because you understand? You can start having initiatives like, should we do price slash? Even though we know this is not what do we call that Friday again? I can't remember.
Black Friday.
It's not a Black Friday season. Can we just do a promo? Buy three, get one free. Nigerians, Africans generally like free things. They are not going to be looking at the price at that time. They are looking at the free they are going to get. Meanwhile, that free one, you've actually gotten money from others. So, because of the creativity in your question, you are able to get multiple kind of insights. You get the first one, second one. So let me give you another one. Very uh, common kind of direct question we answer with data every now and then. Everyone, even those of you on this call, probably, what are our top selling products? Then you just do your descending order. Okay, you have this, you have that. Beautiful. Now, can we be creative with that? Yes. Now, we can tweak that and ask questions like, remember, when I say ask questions, we are actually looking at using our data to answer this question. So it's not as if I'm writing down the question somewhere, okay? So we can be creative and instead of just going straight that way, like everyone does, I also do that a lot sometimes because I'm forced to do that, you know, we do that. Okay, so doing that is not as if it's wrong, but we're just looking at how we can better our insights, how we can better our skill as data analysts with that soft skill of creativity. We can be able to tweak and ask questions like, what are the unexpected correlation that we can discover between customers' demographics and their preferences for our products? That didn't hit. Let me say it again.
Please take that again. Take that again.
Yeah. Let me say that I'm using your face to represent the faces of everyone on this call because I can't see them right now. We're not in the classroom. So yeah, the
Please,
true
I hope
reflection.
my face is representing you all very well.
Okay, so once you understand, I believe they all understand. So, like I said, the first one, you just want to look at your top performing, top selling products. But you can go a deep dive into trying to uncover the correlation between the customer demographics and their preferred choice of products. Now, you can just look at your product and say, wow, my top selling product, let me say you are into uh, let me just give, I don't want to promote anybody here. Different product, your product's name are
You
A
can
to
use
Z.
fruits. Maybe fruits, if that works.
Okay, fruits. Okay, your top selling fruits, top 5 selling fruits. You discover that it is orange, banana. No, that's not my favorite. Pineapple, orange, banana, and let's say watermelon. Let me just use top 4. Pineapple, banana, orange, and whatever. Now you discover that like we do every time, our top. Then you now say, yes, these products are the most loved products. You now go to Meduguri, and now say you want to go and sell this top product because you believe that's what is giving you money. You now go to that environment and you now push those ones. You may crash. And why? Because you as a data analyst has not really helped. You've made the board or the company feel those are the most important products. Meanwhile, if you arrange these products along demographic, you can be able to uncover a lot of things. That some specific area, what you thought was the least is actually the most selling products. Do you understand? So you just need to be kind of creative in. So when you are creative, it helps you, like I said earlier, it helps you to uncover a lot. Yes, Irumide said the business will crash land. So that is it. So you remember, as data analysts, basically you are the eyes of the business. Your insights is what they believe, especially for every organization that believes that data is the new oil. You need to pursue data, so you must be very careful. That's when I saw this invitation. Permit me to just do this shout out. I felt so excited, especially with what data analytics allied group wrote. The soft skill, the key, the importance of having this soft skill. I felt so happy because it's a mistake a lot of us. When I started my career, some of these things we didn't get to know on time. You just think you want to just get your technical skills, your Python and the rest. At the end of the day, uh, instead of being a savior, you become the devil advocate in your company because you do not know how to ask the right questions, or because you don't actually understand how to be creative. Like I said, it's not as if when you're not creative, you are doing the wrong thing. No, your creativity only gives way for more insights. And it's something we learn every day. I'm learning it. I'm not very good at it. I'm learning it. Okay. So that's why I said we must learn to think without the box. So when I have a question, I begin to refine the question. Are there other ways I can ask these questions? Because I understand clearly that the way you ask your question will determine how your direction, how you're going to pursue your analysis. Basically, let me not go into the teaching mood. Let's keep it short here. Thank you.
Oh my God. You've really, really, really helped with this. I love the way you're able to restructure the question. Really, experience does not hide. The way you're able to restructure the questions coming from a sales background, the rearranging makes a lot of sense to me because demography is very important. Location is also very important. When you're checking your website, please, and you're checking the age range of the people, those are very, very important metrics. In case you want to experiment in another area, in another product line. Gifts, I can't thank you enough. And yes, thank you for acknowledging us and our message. Yeah, so Adetor, I don't know if you are here now. Can you hear me, Adetor? Okay, beautiful. You are here now. Awesome. Good to have you back. In case you don't know,
said everything.
I
could hear all along, just that I could not meet my mind.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We perfectly understand. Adetor is, of course, I don't know if it's okay for me to share because those are personal stuff. So I'll just keep it that way. But she's sacrificing a lot to be here with us right now. She's doing, even me, I can't do what she's doing right now. So I completely understand. I would have shared, but those are private information. So I will ask you this, Adetoro. Can you discuss the significance of context when formulating questions for data analysis? The significance of having context in formulating questions.
Significance of having context in formulating questions. That's like the backbone. I mean, asking questions that don't even relate or that don't jive towards the goal of the analysis of the business and end goal for success. I mean, like the success marker majorly. Once your questions are just even say a foot deviated from it. I mean, you're almost gone, honestly. So I think there was a scenario recently. Please, can you confirm you can hear me? Looks like my network is having a problem again.
Loud and clear. Loud, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you loud and clear.
What is the matter, by? Change the network.
Can you hear us? Okay. Yeah, we go again. No worries. That's fine. We'll wait for you when you come. We'll definitely get your insight in that matter. I hope it's not net. Okay, yeah, she mentioned that it's network. Okay, no worries. Okay, Gift. This next question is going to come to you. How do you handle situations where data available seems insufficient to answer the questions that you have posed?
Okay, so I think in one of the questions you asked me, I think while I was answering, just putting a support to what Adetoro was saying earlier before she had network issue. So I talked about the fact that sometimes, or in reality, um, it's not always a smooth ride, when you're doing analysis. Sometimes the data is never always available. And I highlighted some keywords. I'll just reiterate, for the benefit of those that probably just joined. So as an analyst, one other soft skill that you must learn is your ability to communicate. So communicate here, I'm not saying you need to be able to speak good English. It's kind of not like it's very important, but communicate in the sense that you're able to share your findings. Now, you must learn to be open. You must learn to acknowledge the reality of things. You know, be able to even identify the fact that your data is not even enough. The data points you have to do analysis not enough. And that boils back to you being able to even understand the problem you want to solve. Because if you don't understand the problem you want to solve, you will not be able to even know that there are missing data. I know the case in point I gave the other time. Imagine my boss asking me to do analysis, a kind of analysis that will be able to also uh, tell how 2030 electricity tariff will be. And the data I have is just little. So that's one challenge. So I'll just give us another example. Imagine you want to do a financial analysis and what you are just given is probably, let me see, you are not even given information, sorry. You're not even given the transaction. I don't even know what you're going to analyze. Do you understand? So you must be able to acknowledge, the problem you want to solve. And in analyzing those problems that you want to solve, you're able to also identify what you need to solve that problem. Of course, to solve every business problem in today's world, apart from money, strategy, and the whole lot of those things, you need your data because data is what will give you the deep insight. So if that data you realize is not complete, like I said, the first strategy is to think within which other data set can I use to get that, to do the information, get the information done. And when you ask yourself those questions, you research, you meet other stakeholders. Sometimes you might even need to go outside your organization. Imagine you are doing a kind of market research analysis where you want to be able to also understand what competitors are doing. Do you understand? You can get data outside. So we have some what they call these guys now. So we have some organizations that kind of regulating body that like regulates businesses. Let me give for example in the communications telecommunication sector you have ncc have data. You can be able to get data from their website to do your analysis. You can be able to get data from NEC to understand how other discos are performing in terms of the collection and the rest. Because your organization cannot have that data, and your analysis is meant to help you analyze those other data and help give the management directions. So sometimes the data that you have is not as if it's not enough. It's not as if it's incomplete. It's complete in its own way, but it's not enough. So you must be able to identify that. And what helps you to identify that skill is your ability to even to understand the problem you want to solve. In understanding the kind of problem you want to solve, you're able to itemize the data you need. So if the data is not within your environment, after meeting different stakeholders, you can go out to get supplementary data from external sources like NEC, like NCC, or anywhere, to have an idea. You know, funny enough, there's this website at some point in time I usually visit. I don't know if it's still there. I think data.gov, a US data point where you sometimes get like read data of things happening around for public viewing. Sometimes I just go there, analyze to have an idea, real life idea, because these are not like play data that you sometimes have in Kaggle. These are like real data to help you, make some informed decisions. So if I'm going to the United States of America to do a kind of business, or I want to speak with an investor, I have an idea of that data. So in real life situation, sometimes you may not always have all the data, but in a situation where your data is just basically around your organizations, what you need to do, and you realize it's incomplete, one of the steps I do most times is sometimes I rephrase my question. Okay, sometimes it could be I'm asking question that's too deep. So you start from small. There are certain questions that you may not be able to answer now because the data is not available. You answer them in future. So you just put them in the roadmap. So I look at your question. Probably you're asking, your question is not relevant, but it's not for the now. Look at your question. Sometimes you also need to communicate, be open to the limitation that you have with your data. Those are the basic strategy I think I sometimes use that I can remember for now.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Although I have a follow-up question. Just as we were explaining this, something came to mind. There are cases where you might need to, go out to seek for external data. And some of these data are not free. Like I think there are data collection companies where you have to pay some premium to access those data.
Of course,
What
we
if
have them
you
in
need,
Lagos.
yeah, you need those information and you've identified that these people can actually give us what we need, but for some bureaucratic whatever, you are not able to get approval, or you are not able to make progress to access those data. How do we handle such? Do we just go ahead and give the company an insight or an analysis based on the data that we have? Do we go out of our way, pay from our pocket? How do we manage that? Also, guys, please drop your questions because this is the time. The hour is now. I've seen some questions. We're going to take those. If you have further questions, please drop them in the comment section. I'll be addressing them shortly. Thank you. Gift, let's hear from you.
Okay, so that's a tricky question. Well, so like I said, you just need to be open. Very important. You must have identified those things, and you need to communicate. Okay, so you communicate with your own stakeholders, and you tell them how you can go about it. You tell them money. They say there's no money. Now remember this, like what I do, there are certain things that I don't go out of my way to do. I hope my organs are not looking at me, but it's ethical. This also ethical, so I won't go out of my way sometimes to pay, to get some of this premium access, to do work, for the organization, understanding the financial implications, having explained to them, sometimes again, the way you explain matters. Sometimes the truth is, at top managerial level, one truth is, although your data is very important too, but the key thing is, how is it impacting the bottom line? How is this data actually going to improve my revenue? That's the only thing they want to hear is money. Money. money, 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 money. That's it. So that they can pay salaries and other things. So we all understand that. So they'll not be able to probably give you that thing. But how do you communicate, make them understand the impact? Sometimes it's very important we know how to identify consequences of not taking an action. So for me, that's one of the things I do. Um, I worked somewhere where I needed to do some level of automation, and I needed something that will help me do that. It's not as if I don't have my own personal. I have my own personal to run all those things. But even if I run my own use my personal, it's not going to help because you know IT infrastructure stuff and the rest. So I still need to do it in the office environment, office infrastructure for security reasons. I had to communicate, with these people, telling them the implications, the advantages. So it was just left for them to decide. It's not my father's company. Okay, so you need to be open and your manner of approach matters. So Adetoro said something earlier about building relationship with stakeholders. It's very key. Your stakeholders should be able to understand that you have the business at heart. So there are some crazy things you will say, even though it sounds crazy, they want to look at, okay, this guy actually has us in mind. So communicate to them if they're not willing to. But it's not as if I can't go out of my way to get that information. But when I go out of my way to get that information, I'm only using it for my personal building to get deeper insights for my next level, maybe my next job, because data will help expand your horizon. So if I see it's too critical, I may go pay for it for my own personal knowledge, but not necessary for the organization. Thank you.
Okay, that is good. So, guys, I've shared both Gift and Adetoro's LinkedIn profile, so you can connect with them on LinkedIn. But please do not disturb them too much, okay? Yes, so I'm going to be taking the next question. I think there's a question here. Adetoro, I would love you to answer this from Abu Hassan. Can you tell us how to decide what type of applications need to be used to tidy data? Adetoro.
All right. Hi everyone. I feel like I just came in again after many
We can welcome you
interruptions.
again, actually.
Okay. I wish I can see the question, but I think because I just came in, I can't see it. So how do you
Yeah, I
decide the
will. Do you
application
want
to
me to
use?
copy it and paste again? I can do
Yes,
that.
please. Yes,
Awesome.
please.
Okay. Just give me a
But I
moment.
think it's about identifying what application.
Tools. Yes, 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 yes. Okay,
Yeah.
I
So
just did that.
can you tell us how to decide what type of application need to be used to tidy in the data? So I want to believe this person is talking about data cleaning and transformation. Okay. Um, after all said and done about the soft skills and all, then we get down to doing the actual work, right? And then you're now left with deciding, okay, what's best and what's best. So basically, I think fundamentally, if you understand where you are going, how to get there, you are a step closer to getting there, honestly, right? And if you I want to believe that before you even start up on any project, you already have fundamental basic knowledge, maybe your Excel. And there's something about all this analytics to actually somehow, somewhere, what this tool can do, this tool can actually do it as well. The other tool can do it, but maybe in a more efficient way, maybe in a creative way, sort of, that can expound, even the insights you'll be able to coin from that particular analysis and all. So let me take maybe a visualization work, for example. You want to create a dashboard and somewhere, okay, I work in an engineering team. Somewhere I'm the one that kind of engineer my data sometimes if the engineers or data engineers as a core are busy and all. So okay, I get my data to data warehouse and I connect. But maybe while, of course, you want to do some editing on Power Query and all, but while trying to clean up on Power Query, you then figure that, I mean, in order to save resources, okay, so this is coming from you are working with a very large data set. You know, the approach when you're working with a smaller data set is a bit different. You can still afford to waste some resources. But when it comes to large volume of data sets, you are now trying to calculate time it will take for Power BI to process some data. It's maybe faster to clean such data or do such transformation on SQL. So in this case, I'll just go back to my analytics store and do my transformations there. Then I bring in the aggregated data to my Power BI and then just do some final touches. But if I'm working with a small data, I can still afford, you know, to allow my resource. And here we work on servers. So, you know, if they see anything that is running for maybe more than maybe 5 hours, they will kill your job. You don't want to start over again. So you are thinking of, you have a lot of, you have to be resource mindful. You have to be conscious of resources. You have to have a cost saving mindset. That's first cost saving and then time as well. So first, you know what you want to do, you know the end goal. Then approach now depends on the type of data, the volume, the speed at which you want the data to process can then inform you on what tool to use. But of course, if it's a personal project and you just want to try out stuff, can do everything on Power Query. It may just take more time. I mean, I'm just using Power Query, Power BI and maybe SQL as an example. You want to migrate data, you have option of SSIS, you have option of PySpark. Depending again on the case, okay, I don't know if I'm giving too much of examples, but we had some challenges maybe during the week because of some companies that are currently running some promo, and we have, more traffic on some particular applications that we use. So a data that will normally run, that will normally engineer or do the migration on SSIS, now is becoming difficult. And because we have some traffic as well, people are generating a lot of reports because of the promo that is ongoing. We have to take it to PySpark. You don't want to just be there and yes, SSIS can do it and it will do it very well, but it will take more time. So because of the need at that time, I'm trying to also save the resource on that server for other people that may want to do smaller things that SSIS will do and will do very well. Thinking of them will give me the will help me make the right decision of maybe using another application or another tool as an alternative in this case, just to save the moment. So understanding the end goal and also being mindful of other people, mindful of resources will do a lot in helping you come to that decision.
Awesome. Thank you for that insightful response. So for everyone here, I hope you got that. You have to pay attention to your data need. That will give you a direction on which of the tools will be most efficient for you. Gift also shared something. You can read that up. Okay, what SQL Server Integration Service is. Okay, for the benefit of those whose phone are kept away, I will read it out. SQL Server Integration Services is a Microsoft SQL Server database built to be a fast and flexible data warehousing tool to perform high-performance data integrations. For more information, see us behind camera. Okay, because of time, we won't be able to go beyond this. I honestly want to keep doing this. If you know me well, you know I enjoy doing this. This is food for me. It's food for my soul. So we'll do something real quick. I see that everyone still stayed till the end of this session. That is amazing. So to reward you, we're going to be giving one scholarship slots free for Excel. It's just for Excel. So you join our Excel Academy for January session, but there'll be a question. Whoever gets the answer first, the answer is very obvious. So I'm trying to stall so that everyone can prepare their mind. Some people might even answer before I finish this statement. I wish I had Gift's brain now to repackage the question. Or maybe Gift, I should send the question to you and then you help me rejig it. Ire, no, okay, Ire, please, you are disqualified. Thank you for saying that. You cannot answer. Thank you. Even if you answer, you won't get it. You are disqualified. But for every other person, please, this is for Excel, just for the Excel Academy. So today there's something that was really paramount from what all our speakers have said. Beyond the technical skills, beyond doing all of this, there's something unique that has been like a center of our discussion all this while, that if you have that, if you apply it, it takes you a step ahead. It opens more opportunity for you and help you do more and be more as a data analyst. What is that skill? It's a soft skill, by the way. The first person to get the answer, Mobolaji, wetin happen? This is very good. It means that everyone was paying attention. Very, very good. I wish we had more than one slot, Kai, because everyone did, yeah, get it. The skill is creativity. You have to be creative to go the extra mile. So yeah, congratulations, Ajay Sumobi Mobolaji. And then in case Mobolaji, let me see. I don't think, yeah, Mobolaji didn't join from the beginning, so I'm not sure if you're a beginner or if you're an expert, because if you're an expert, you can volunteer for the next person to take up the slot. Because if you're an expert, then let the beginners breathe and let them enjoy this lot. So let us know if you think that if you're an expert at Mobolaji, then Peter can take it up. You can let us know. But if you are going to opt for it, that's perfectly fine. Congratulations, Mobolaji at J2Mobi. Ire is going to share our official email address with you. Send us an email with your full name, your phone number, and then we'll reach out to you in January and register you for the course and enroll you for the course. And then in case you want to give it out to the next person, also let us know so we can reach out to them. But I'm hoping that you take the course, get your certification, and get to give us some good reviews as well. So yes. Everything that has a beginning has an end. I feel narcissistic. Is it narcissistic? What is that English? It's not narcissistic. English wants to finish me now. Oh, this thing.
Use SQL or use data analysis and replace your question.
That thing when you are missing home, what's it called? It starts with a nostalgic. I'm feeling nostalgic. Yeah. I'm feeling so nostalgic, not narcissistic. Wahala be like narcissism. Okay, so let me know in the comment section how this session has been for you so far. Let us know in this session. Oh, yeah, I begin at Mobolaji. Very good. So please send us an email. Ire has sent the email already. Drop us an email and then we'll enroll you for the January class. Let us You really knew. So let me know, how do you feel about this session? Just one word. Let me put my own. Insightful. That's for me. This has been insightful. In fact, I wish I can put more than one. Insightful and enlightening. I'm going to put two because that's exactly how I feel. Insightful and enlightening. How do they spell enlightening? No? Wahala. Yeah, so let me know. Very good. Thank you. It has been awesome. Educative, insightful and enlightening, educative. Those of us that want to enroll, it's 15,000 naira for Excel, but there are other tools as well. Like you've heard our speaker said, we have for SQL, we have for Power BI, we have for Python. So those other ones cost 30,000, but Excel costs 15,000 naira. You get a certification at the end of the program. It is so amazing and interesting. Congratulations to the lucky guy. Eye-opening revelation. Educative, great session. Yeah, so in a minute, let's just unmute our mic and say thank you to our speakers. It's been an awesome session. Let's unmute our mic and say thank you to our speakers. Don't be shy. Unmute and say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Gifts. Thank you.
Yeah, please.
It's
Can I
very
say I
insightful,
want to
very
acknowledge
insightful,
Thank you,
my
the speaker.
and
You
thank you
are
for
making an interesting.
the anchor host Pepper, as well
Oh,
as
thank you,
and
Abu.
Eddie Murray.
yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
really do.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
thank you.
Abdul Hassan. So I want to say a big shout out to Abdul Hassan. He's been a good friend. I reached out to him on Meet, and I'm happy he's here. Thank you. Good to
Yeah,
see you, Abdul.
thank
Finally,
you, Gift.
Mhm.
I hope to see you in person soon.
So.
Yeah,
I,
definitely.
that
All
you had to
right.
come to UK. Gift. That you
Yeah,
had to
Oh,
come to UK.
beautiful.
yeah. We'll
Thank
see
People
you
you.
should
soon.
carry me along, go.
Definitely,
I want to come to UK to.
definitely. So it is very very kind of very much heartfelt. Thank you for both. It's very
Mm-hmm.
informative and insightful.
Thank you.
And still lot to get from you guys. Hope
Mm-hmm.
to continue more.
Yeah. So you can follow us on our page so that you get
I
to
have
see all of our
the
upcoming sessions. Mhm.
founder of the DAELITES. She knows.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
She
Yes.
knows. She
Thank
knows.
you. Remedy, please go ahead. Francisca, Iremide, your hand is up. Please speak now. Or is it an error? We can't hear you if you're talking. Okay, I guess it's a mistake. All right. Thank you, everyone. Okay, Francisca,
Can
your
you
hand
hear
is up.
me?
Yes, we can
Okay,
hear you.
okay.
All right, okay. I just want to say a very big thank you to Adetoro for being on the call. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Gift. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this opportunity, to come and share your knowledge, your insight. Thank you so much. And to my one and only Ejiro Gene Pepe, all the way from NYC, the one gift NYC gave me. Thank you so much for being so instrumental to this community. We can never appreciate you for everything that you do. So we just want to say thank you. And to everyone on this call, Francisca, the project coordinator, Ayodeji, Moshood, all the team members, I just want to say a very big thank you to all of you. Thank you for making this happen.
Thank you. I feel so emotional. Thank you very much. Yeah. So remember, I shared the URL, LinkedIn URL of our speakers earlier, so you can connect with them on LinkedIn. And then Iremide has also shared our community handle, so you can follow us on all our social media platforms and even join our WhatsApp community. We usually hold this quiz often, and then we have some free resources for our community members also, for those that are just starting their journey, so you can also leverage those by being a part of our community. Yeah, so this is the point I will have to say goodbye. It's been an amazing an hour plus, with everyone here in this session. I hope that you enjoy your weekend, and then we'll see again most likely in January, or I'm not sure yet, but the community will let us know. They will decide and let us know when we'll have our next session, because we also have to prepare for the holiday bubbles too. Yeah, so let's enjoy our weekend. Thank you for making it a date with us. We hope to see you in our next session. Cheers.
Bye.